Okay, moving on to constant growth. We have talked about a perpetuity, and this is very much like that, except we're adding one factor to turn it into a growth model. So as you can see here, case 2, constant growth, we have our dividends, and our dividends are no longer just our dividends, but they have a growth factor. Dividend 1 plus G, G being growth. So our dividend 1 is dividend times 0 plus the growth. Dividend 2 is dividend 1 plus its growth, and then dividend 3 is dividend 2 plus its growth, and so on. So when we start thinking about this in terms of a formula, we know that times 0, the price at times 0, P sub 0, is dividend 1 divided by R minus G. R is the rate of return. We've done that before. Dividend 1 is the first period dividend that will be coming out, and then G is the growth rate. And so G is the growth rate of the stock. So if you think the stock is growing at 3% or 4%, you would put a growth rate in there. And of course, this will be a little bit more than zero growth because the stock would be worth more because it's growing. So if we go to the next slide, we can see an example. Suppose the big deal company, we're still dealing with the big deal company, just paid a dividend of $2 and is expected to increase its dividend at 2% per year. If the market requires 8.5% return on its assets at this level, how much would the stock be worth? Well, so the first thing is we need to get dividend 1. So it just paid a $2 dividend. Dividend time period 1, that's now 0. Dividend time period 1 is one growth period forward. So one growth period forward is the $2 plus the growth of 2%. So $2 times 2% is $2.04. That's D1 divided by 0.85, which is the required rate of return, minus the growth rate. 0.085 minus 0.02 is 0.065. If you take 2.04 divided by 0.065, you would find at $30.38 is the value now because we have 2% growth in a stock that used to have 0. So that growth increased the value of the stock by a considerable amount, $23 versus $31. You can see how it's starting to grow because we have growth in the stock. Now this is a perpetuity, this will last forever, so we believe that if we invest $31.38 now today, that we will get our $2.04 dividend in the next period, and it will grow at 2% going forward. So that includes the growth, which is why we're paying a little bit more for it than we did at $23 with no growth. So we have no growth, zero growth model, we have a constant growth model, and they're pretty straightforward. Well, unfortunately, that's not the way the world works, right? We don't have constant growth in anything. Apple doesn't constantly grow. Microsoft doesn't constantly grow. Exxon Mobil doesn't constantly grow. So we have to do differential growth. So we have growth spurts, which are fast, and then slowing down mature companies that are slow. So we have to look at differential growth, and that will be our next challenge.